everyone, here we are with ticker symbol SRNE, Sorrento Therapeutics Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. Yesterday, Sorrento was going wild in a downward direction. I mean, it broke through the 50-day moving average and it literally jumped from being at a high point here before the fall of 1212 all the way down to about 981. That was the lowest point reached yesterday, and that's something that I would tell every single investor, which I'm going to talk about this narrow and then broad, and then also point out that this is the one number right now that if it breaks through 981, this will start to see newer lows and test newer support levels. So I would like for every investor to write this down so they can keep it in mind. As long as we stay above 981, there could be a turnaround. It's not guaranteed. Obviously, the bulls need to break through resistance levels, but 981 is the true support right now, holding this up from hitting newer lows. If that gets broken through, this will start to see newer lows and newer support levels. Now, I also want to point out the 50-day moving average. It's slightly moved down, and it is now 1102. The bulls need to break through this before they even start gaining control over the chart again. The bears are definitely dominating right now, and for the bulls to gain possession of the chart again and the stock itself, they need to break through 1102 and break away from it in an upward direction. But let's go ahead and move our supports to their new location within the last couple hours of the day, and then also our new resistance level. So like I said, we're going to zoom this in and we're going to look at this very narrow, and then we're going to zoom out and look at some things that are important as well apart from these numbers. So before I go ahead and look at it narrowly, I want to point out the broader numbers, and then we'll go ahead and look at this very closely. So Sorrento had this drop, and honestly, it broke through one of the most important support levels of 1012, but it's nearly above that right now. So as long as this goes back up above that number, this could start to work its way up closer to the 50-day moving average. But 1012 is one of the most important numbers of support here, due to the fact that that's one of the lowest points reached within the last couple of weeks, and actually for the month of October. That's the lowest point reached in the month of October, other than the one that was reached yesterday at 981. Now, obviously, we're kind of hanging out there. If this falls any lower, then obviously this will start to test newer lows and get closer to the 981 range. And if it breaks through 981, this could be on its way down to new support levels. So I want everyone to know that, and I want to emphasize that so that every investor is aware. 981 cannot be broken through for this to not see newer lows and newer support levels. Now, and for it to stay above. Now, in the short term here, we have another resistance level above the one we're going to talk about. First, the first one needs to be broken through before even worrying about this one. But I want you guys to write it down, because the volatility of this stock could start very soon, because it's been pretty quiet today. It did kind of a sideways movement, and if it doesn't start soon, it will be coming up, and at least these numbers are points of reference so that you can break down the chart and pay close attention to what's going on. So right now, 1082 is the resistance level that needs to be broken through, so this can get closer to the 50-day moving average. Obviously, there's another resistance level that needs to be broken through to have a sense of direction where this is going, and this could possibly start to work its way up. But 1082, once that gets broken through, this is one step away from getting closer to bullish territory for the bulls. So that's important. Write it down and keep that number in mind. Now again, 50-day moving average is 1102, and the first resistance level for the bulls to get back up into bullish territory or get anywhere near it, they need to break through this rejection that was formed here that actually started to level this off down at 1046. This resistance level needs to be broken through, turn into a support, so the bulls can start to work their way up to newer highs and newer resistance levels. Super important for the bulls. They need to break through this, turn it into a support, so they can break away and start working towards the 50-day moving average to cross it and get back into bullish territory. On the other hand, which I want to emphasize this to all investors, even before waiting till 981, pay close attention to how the stock is reacting. If it breaks through this support at 1002. 1002 is the support form today, one of the lowest points reached today. And if 1002 gets broken through, this could be well on its way to newer lows and newer support levels, reaching closer to the 981 mark. And if it breaks that 981 mark, this could see newer lows and test newer supports as well. But before getting there, 1002 is the first support level that needs to be broken through. I'd pay very close attention to the behavior of this stock because it's already getting pulled away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction more than it already is, actually showing and meaning that the bulls are losing control and the bears are dominating the chart. And I'd put my 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute charts, look at the inflow and the outflow of the stock and see what is going on and what's the behavior of this stock if it breaks through 1002. I really want to emphasize that to every investor. Pay very close attention to how this stock is reacting and behaving if it breaks through the support. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button for me to let me know you watched this video. And at the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video. In that video, I will talk about the S&P 500 index and how the S&P 500 index has been rising on scheduled dates. These scheduled dates are actually the dates of the Federal Reserve pumping the markets, and in turn has made the S&P 500 rise up several points. What does that mean for us as investors? Well, if the S&P 500 index is rising up several points, there's individual ticker symbols within the S&P 500 index rising up with it. They're rising up anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but per share that does add up. And as I always say, if you put $1 into the market and you get back $2, you've done a great job. Profits are profits. It's not all about hitting those home runs, but consistently making profits is a good way to be on your way to success as an investor, or just overall to be a much better investor. Obviously, any profits I take, I'm all about profits. I'm not all about how much shares did I get, how many did I buy, how much did I sell it for, did I buy a lot of shares and, just held through, or what was my profit showing, because greed sometimes stops us from executing the sale when it's time to sell. Because sometimes our portfolio shows a number, and for example, hypothetically speaking, and I know I'm going a little bit off track, but I really want to emphasize this to all investors. Your portfolio is looking good and it says 500 up, and you want to hold thinking, okay, well, if it went up 500, I think I can hit the 600, 700 mark. And because you wait an hour or two to hold through and see what's going on, you'll start watching your profits chip away, and you end up having to make a decision at 300 profit, or sometimes even less than that. So one thing I do want to advise every investor, this is a strategy that doesn't guarantee you profits, but it helps you maximize profits and minimize your losses. That's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of all these chart analysis. It's all about maximizing profits and minimizing losses. Like I said, you put $1 into the market and you got $2, you've done a great job. That's what we're all here for. We're trying to make profits, and I'm just here to help and make everyone learn and grow together. I mean, I want us all to learn and grow together, as well as I can learn and grow from what you guys say sometimes too in your comments down below, which I appreciate from all of you guys. And honestly, those videos, which is the video that's about to pop up at the end, I highly recommend watching it, because like I said, profits are profits. It's a strategy that doesn't guarantee you profits, but it helps you maximize profits, minimize losses. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold, but I am there to inform every single investor on the great news, that there's an opportunity to make some profits. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.